Hello, this is question one. In what ways does your media product use, develop, or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? So, in terms of the song I used, I went for Sia, You've Changed. This song was released in 2010, so actually choosing to do an 80s style music video, it kind of challenges this because obviously it's not actually from the 80s, this song, but it kind of develops it because it sounds like it could have been from that era. So that was interesting to me. In terms of the way I produce the actual music video itself, I was sticking to a similar theme. I'll try and insert something here of the actual original music video that Sia produced. I wouldn't say it's explicitly 80s themed, but then again, neither's mine. Subjectively, it could be from another era. However, they both show themes that suggest that it's from the 80s or around that time. In terms of mise en scène, I've definitely been developing the forms and conventions further. I went for 80s style hair and makeup. I took the time to research and find out more about makeup and hair from that time, and did that on the actress, which I think had a really powerful effect on the whole video actually. And I noticed that in my feedback when I showed the video, there was a lot of positive comments about that and how it added to the mise en scène to make it more realistic, as if it was from the 80s. On top of that, I went for the use of the boombox and dial-up telephone, which I think again really helped, and I've written about in another evaluation question about how that went on to help the rest of the music video, and the audience also seemed to really appreciate that and felt that it made a good contribution to the video as a whole. Again, with costume, for the actors and what they were wearing and stuff, I think this kind of challenges the conventions of music videos. The song talks about, well, you've changed. You could say that it's about love. Obviously, it's subjective, but if it is about love, it could be challenging it in the fact that my actress is quite young, and then in that case, it's talking about a different kind of love, like young love, as opposed to sort of traditional romance. So that's an interesting point. Talking about props again with the boombox and the telephone, and how that basically is just developing forms and conventions. In terms of setting, it doesn't really challenge. I wouldn't say I've really thought very much out of the box. I have evaluated this elsewhere, talking about how I would change location or put more thought into location if I were to do this again. But it doesn't really challenge any conventions. There's a section of my music video where there's the use of the cross trainer. I had a thought to take inspiration from the classic Call On Me video, which is obviously quite explicit and I would say does challenge conventions, obviously, because that's what you see in the music video is not what you'd usually get at a gym, you would hope. And obviously I wouldn't do it to such an extent, but I did want to include the kind of hyped up 80s theme, sweatbands, neon, everything in the gym. But I wasn't able to do that just because circumstances, obviously, and it's just a student film. But if I were to do it again, that would have been something that I would have really liked to do. So that was an interesting point. Then in terms of the ancillary product, the CD cover, I would say I have tried to challenge the conventions. I, again, obviously did my research about CD covers from the 80s time because I wanted it to flow in terms of the song and stuff. I didn't just want a photograph of the singer or the actress on the CD cover. I wanted it to be kind of illustrative and artistic, so I produced it using Photoshop, and I've done it kind of bold and colourful like you would expect it to be 80s, but also at the same time the use of font and everything, I would say it's given it a more modernised touch. And the same on the inside cover as well, where I've included a picture of the artist, but it's not right in your face as you see the front of the CD cover. It's on the inside cover, just so you got an idea of the artist, etc., etc. Overall, I think throughout this project, I have been trying to challenge conventions the whole way through, but I think mostly the effect I've had is I've just been developing them, which I found, to be fair, has been just as effective for me, in that I've stuck to what I thought the song was about, but at the same time I pushed it in my own kind of thought processes, if that makes sense. So I thought that the song sounded kind of 80s, so for that reason I chose to do the 80s hair, the 80s theme, take inspiration from other 80s videos, and that sort of thing. So if I were to do it again, I would probably try and challenge things more. For example, use of actress, that would be a main thing. Does it have to be a woman? I know that there's a woman singing, but that's something I could have taken into account. Obviously, I already spoke about location, but again, that is something I would want to push out further. To be fair though, even using a gym, I think that wouldn't really be challenging. I could challenge it completely and go completely green screen, because I think the green screen was so successful in this music video, and that might be something quite interesting. How would it work having the whole music video set on a green screen? It'd certainly be more artistic. I mean, I didn't have a storyline in this anyway. I wouldn't say. I mean, you could suggest that there was one, but I didn't really plan an explicit storyline as such. It would definitely be more artistic, but that might be interesting. But yeah, thank you for watching. That was question 1.